What happens when a staff member leaves and they leave under bad terms? This is John Young, and today we're going to be doing kind of an Ask Me Anything because I've had some people asking questions, and this is one that I don't think I've ever really seen addressed online. So we're going to deal with this question. And this question comes from, I believe, someone in Kentucky was sent this one up, and I don't remember exactly your name, and I apologize for that. But he was asking about how you handle situations when you have a staff member. As a multi-system operator, we have staff come and go, where you've had people that are with you for months, sometimes for years. And he was asking, what do you do when you have a staff member who leaves the business but leaves under negative terms and starts a competing DJ company? This happens with a lot of us. A lot of us have had people go on kind of under negative terms and sometimes under positive, where they've had our blessing to go forward, which is recently one of my DJs that the last that worked with me, she's gone out on her own right now, and I've done everything I can to help her, and it's a good relationship, and that's the way you'd like to have it. But most of the time when this happens, especially the sudden, hey, I'm quitting tomorrow, and by the way, I've got 10 gigs lined up that I did. That's happened numerous times, and I had a couple of thoughts I wanted to share with this. First off, before we get to that point, you need to have a non-compete agreement with all of your DJs. Non-compete agreements may not fly in some states, but in most states they are somewhat enforceable or fully enforceable. Yes, if you're in a right-to-work state, it probably is not going to be enforceable, but it's not a bad idea to have a non-compete agreement set up so that after you have trained them, that it's not one of those things that you can they sign it today and then if they quit tomorrow that you've now gotten locked in. You have to have some skin in the game where you have put some time and money and training into them and given them some value so that they cannot turn around and after getting all that training quit and then immediately go to work for themselves or a competitor. So having a non-compete, search that out, make sure you get that with any staff member that you're actually going to train. In my case, I did not ask my staff members to actually sign a non-compete until we started getting into the training. That they've gone through some preliminary testing to make sure that they were going to function. I might have even brought them with on a show just so they could get an idea of it and I can get a feel for who they are. Then I would we would do the non-compete agreement. Moving forward, okay, so now we've got a staff member, they've been with me for a number of years, and I got one more thing with non-compete, and I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this. There's going to be a point in time with a non-compete agreement that's based on your training and your value and such that you would get beyond that point where you're not going to be able to hold them to that, meaning that they've worked for you for 5 years. And after that, it's really tough for a judge to say, oh yes, you've got a non-compete agreement. Now you'd be able to keep them from working for a competitor, but you're probably not going to be able to keep them from going out on their own. You might be able to do a non-disclosure where they can't talk to anyone about your business and things for up to a period of 12 months. But these are little nuances with non-compete and non-disclosure that you really need to look into more. Okay, so they've given me their notice and they're quitting, and I find out they have got 5 or 6 gigs, or I had a bar contract and now they're trying to poach that bar contract, what have you. How do I handle that? First off, hopefully you've got relationships with your current and past clients and such enough where they know you and trust you and like you. And in my case, I have had DJs leave my company. Most of the time they've left because of a mutual misunderstanding, we'll call it, on what it means to work for me. They've gone off because I don't allow drinking on the job. I don't allow, and I don't allow getting drunk on the job. Let's put it that way. I frown upon drinking on the job, but that's not a deal breaker. It's for some people, they feel that drinking on the job. So I've had DJs that have left my employ and gone out on their own because of things such as that. That's been the biggest one, actually, on a few occasions. Relationships hopefully are built, and there's going to be some times where they're going to be talking and spreading misinformation. Hopefully you have someone in your corner who will know you and trust you enough that they're going to be able to see through that. But whatever happens, you need to stay above the fray. You never go and you never complain to anyone. If in the management world, there's this phrase that problems go up and solutions come down and praise comes down. you never have problems. So if you are working for a venue and you never go to the manager and complain about a problem you had with a staff member, that's not cool. That's going to make you look less in the eyes of the venue manager. So if there's problems, you always take the high road. You always stay professional. And they're not working for you anymore. No, we parted ways. Oh, really? What happened? Well, I'd rather not talk about it. We just parted ways, and now they're doing their own thing. You don't need to go and talk about, and they did it illegally, and they should be on a non-compete, and they can't be working this. If you need to have that conversation at any point in time, you get an attorney to write letters. You do not talk in the public with that. You do not say anything, because anything you say could be twisted and turned and become something that they could use as you slandering them. You don't want to do that. If you hear that they're slandering you, see if you can have somebody get some proof of it or what have you, because again, if they're slandering you, there is some legal precedence that could take effect in this, where you could actually have some kind of a claim against them for defamation of character. Make sure you're paying attention and listening, but never feed the beast. Don't go fishing for negative things. If there's something shared with you, great. Stay above the fray. If they're contacting you and if they're harassing you, that's blatant harassment. But occasionally what you'll find is that they're going to contact you and they're going to try to keep buddy with you because they can get something. Maybe they're going to, hey, I'm still your friend and I'd like to borrow speakers, or I'd like to do this. My recommendation, even if they're friends, is that when they've stepped away from your business, is that you really now change it to a professional level, and you're not going to be renting, or actually you're not borrowing gear to them. You're not going to be giving them a computer to use, heaven forbid. So we know what will happen then. Your computer, your music library, which has probably already been stolen, will be stolen at that point in time. Treat them as you would any other business entity out there in the DJ world, not a friend, just a person who's out there. And if you would rent your speakers to Joe Schmo DJ over here, then you can think about renting it to them. The problem you're going to have is that sometimes if you've got a past employee who's gone out on not so good terms and they're doing their own thing right now, they're going to think that they could take advantage of you. They're going to show you a little, gosh, I should have stuck around and I would love to work with you, but I just had to do it because of my spouse. And you understand, right? Okay, great. Hey, by the way, can I borrow that big sound system that you used for the prom? Because I've got a prom booked over here at this other school. You know what they're going to do? They're going to take advantage of you. They're probably going to go and offer your level of service or gear, what have you, at a reduced price because they're trying to get their foot in the door. Really, the best way to do it is say, you know what, I appreciate your time with us. Thank you very much, but I don't think we can work together anymore. Once you're not under my banner, my stuff is my stuff, your stuff is yours, unless you have a rental division. But stay above the fray. Keep things separate as much as possible, and that means that if you're going to conventions, they're no longer going to be rooming with you. You need to again keep that professional, separate business and treat them as you would any other wedding industry professional. And again, keep your eyes open because you can be taken advantage of, and I have had this happen. As I'm too nice of a person, and I've had people take advantage of me because I haven't just basically drawn a line in the sand and said, okay, now we're here. You're there, I'm here, and let's move forward with that kind of a relationship. You try to blur the line and things can happen. So I hope this helps a little bit, gives you an idea. It's a bad area, it's a tough area. It's a no-win situation, and I wish this is one part of the multi-system world that I wish could go away. The other part is the wondering if everyone's all set up and everything on a Saturday. This is before cell phones, and you're wondering, okay, gosh, is everybody up and running? Am I going to, how is everything going? Because you don't get reports until people drop gear off that night. Oh, I hate those days. Those are the things as a I just hate it. But anyway, hopefully this helped a little bit. If you have any questions, just message me on Facebook, put messages, email me, john@discjockeynews.com, and we can answer any questions you may have. If this is your first Tuesday tip, thank you for watching. If you have liked any of our Tuesday tips, click the like on those because that gives us some feedback of what types of tips you guys like more than others. Some are obviously going to connect better with you than others, so please, if you like it, click the like down below. If you are so willing, hey, give us a share with this because the Tuesday tips thing, we want to try to bring that to the masses and such. So share it if you can. Comment down below. We just appreciate you watching. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News with our Tuesday tip of the week.
If I were you, gotta hit the subscribe button before I hit the video. But don't mess things up. Wanna know why? Because I'm Batman.